And we are live. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, go ahead and tell the folks about the people that sponsor this podcast.
As always, Lance, the show is brought to you by Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000. We just concluded another Wanna week, and we have some massive winners from over the weekend. None more massive than my boy Fats312, both literally and figuratively. He's going home with $2K on a $2 investment. By the way, he also pieced together a third place finish for $400. So those of you keeping track at home, that's $2,400 just risking $4 at the counter. Wanna parlay? How do you do it? You're too good to us. The Pick'ems. W. Walters 7 wins the pick 4 and $200. Long legs, homegirl Viviana, pick 6. That's $500. That's if you go dig on that account right there, and I have no idea if Viviana is even a real person, just based on her correspondence to my text messages. But I'm telling you, that's another 15K club member right there. Long legs. We'll do some digging on that. Matt's 57123 wins 200, and Mass Ucho wins 175. So good to be good for all them. We got a great show for you guys today. We got our guy Tone the Goat coming on the show right away. We're going to be talking college hoops, all-star break, this hockey game the other night, Lance, that was absolutely insane. Let's get after it.
Yeah. We had a weekend full of events. There was the all-star break. We will definitely be talking about that or for the NBA at least, because that's not good stuff. KG Lojo's coming in out of nowhere. Long legs, I bet, is like his 7-year-old kid destroying this site, and which is why he won't come on. If we were getting pieced up, Viviana. Yeah, codename Viviana. If we're getting pieced up by a 7-year-old, we got a lot more issues than I thought. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say accountability time. KG, you might have been there last show. Just doing it real quick. I'm pretty sure I went 0-3. I kind of just picked 3 favorites, and it just shit the bed on me. Jack, you want to talk a little bit about yours before we bring on Tone?
Yeah, you ride a little bit of the NBA favorites there. The pick I loved is the pick I lose on, which is UCLA Lady Hoops, -1.5 versus USC. Juju Watkins absolutely balled. Homegirl dropped 38 points. I think the rest of her stat line all put together, the headline on it was that has not been done in women's or men's college basketball in 20 years. So awesome stuff from Juju. Lauren Betts got a little bit destroyed there late in the third quarter. Not how I saw it coming, but it's the way it goes. And then I got back to even with the Warriors +1.5 versus the Rockets. We were playing the hunch that Jimmy Butler and this team had to get right, and that they're all energized and looking towards the postseason. The Dubs end up winning outright. They went up early in the first and never once gave the lead back. Steph had 27 points. Jimmy Butler had 19 and 8. Draymond, 13 points, 8 assists. That feels like a stat line that those guys can hit every night. That team's getting ready to get hot. I'm excited to talk about that later in the show, Lance.
Yeah. The Warriors are definitely a topic of focus for us, because they're going to be good, and they're not going anywhere after that Jimmy Butler trade. All right. Chet, I guess let's bring on Tone.
Yeah, get on Tone. This is Tone the Goat coming on here for our Wanna Parlay people. If you want to go find this guy's profile, hoping to bring Tone early and often back onto the Wanna Parlay podcast here. Excited to get him on here to talk some hoops and some winter sports. Tone, you got us? It always is a little bit of adjustment with the Discord deal. You got him, Lance?
We got it. Yeah, you'll figure it out, I imagine. Can you hear us, Tone? Well, doesn't sound like. I see a little movement coming from over there.
Stop. I'm not good on this.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. Can you hear us? He's too busy.
This Discord always takes a period of adjustment. It's the simplest thing ever once you do it the once, but doing it the once, it's like learning a foreign language.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I'll tee him up, because I know Tone's a big sports fan here. And we're excited to talk a little college hoops, where we currently stand. We're currently hitting a very fun part of the calendar for college basketball. We kind of basically everyone's resume laid bare right now. They just came out, CBS and the March Madness Committee. I don't even know their official title, but they just came out and released the 16 teams. So the top, all the 1 through 4 seeds as it stands currently today. Fascinating stuff. So as we turn down the last little barrel of college basketball, we'll see what all goes on there. And then NBA, obviously, once you get through that All-Star break and once we get through the trade deadline, all that now in the rear view, we got some big time stuff coming up. And with the trade deadline, Lance, tell you what, I wasn't even sure I was going to be watching the NBA playoffs, and now I'm going to be watching probably 30 straight Laker games here and checking in on the rest of the league. So I'm stoked for where we stand actually on our sports calendar. And then, to be discussed. Don't know if Tone caught the hockey game or not. If he did, I can't wait to get his opinion. But the hockey game, Lance.
The four nations face off or whatever it's called. It's electric. It's incredible. It has so much passion around it. They play hard. It's high level hockey. I mean, it's sick. It's good stuff. All right. Well, we got Tone in here. He's on mute. I don't know if he can hear us. Now he's off mute. Can you hear us? Oh, there he is. Oh wait, turn it and then turn it horizontal. Turn it horizontal.
I'm trying to.
We see you.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you. We just need your screen horizontal. Yes, there we go. We can see you, bro. What's good?
Our editor freaks out when we got one vertical camera angle. Apparently, it adds an hour to his whole deal. So we got to get him right back there. How you doing, dude?
Man, I'm awesome. I can't complain at all.
Dude,
back to the NBA in a couple of days. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and thank God, don't even have to wait till Thursday this year. We got the makeup game. We got Lakers and Luka back on Wednesday night. What's your NBA background? Who's your team? What do you watch?
Well, I'm born and raised in Atlanta, so of course I'm a home team favorite. But I'm a LeBron James fanatic, so I've been around the league wherever he's took me.
Yep. Hey, I'm in the same boat. I've been with you. We've gone on a journey together. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Lance has been hanging with LeBron ever since the announcement to South Beach. He's been riding him ever since. And then the perfect marriage. We're a couple of Southern California kids, so it's we're Laker guys over here. So it's just the perfect world going on. Yeah.
Yep. I have pictures with me in LeBron's high school jersey, man. When I was I don't even think I was a teen then. I was like 12 and I was supporting LeBron. I've been on his bandwagon.
That's rocking a little St. Vincent, St. Mary right there. That's awesome. Hey, I love you rocking the Wanna Parlay lid right there. By the way, I'm following suit right now. We got to rep the brand a little bit.
So we're on the same team.
Yeah, just because we're introducing you to the to our audience here. Tone the Goat is his name on Wanna Parlay. If you want to go tail this guy's picks right here, he's been on the account for a little while. How have you been enjoying Wanna so far, Tone?
Man, I love the versatility on it. I was doing fantasy betting when it was more so just on the being able to bet on the teams and the money lines and stuff like that. So I love that Wanna Parlay has that feature plus the player props and stats and everything else. I mean, it's the best of both worlds if you ask me.
100%. You get to sneak in some of those team props as well. You get some over-unders on the individual. You can kind of tailor make whatever pick you like there. And then tell you what, what do you think of some of the social atmosphere? I don't know if you've gone and mixed it up in the chat yet at all, but just a little of the shit talking and making some friends and rivals as you try to pick these games.
Yeah. I've been active in the chat, and I've been floating around the app, checking out, even seeing the podcast clips pop up on the feed as well and stuff like that. And then definitely the trash talking that's going on in the chat, man. I love it. I can't wait till it hits like the million subscriber mark where it's just super busy, like especially on days like Super Bowl and stuff.
Well, 100% when it's just blowing up. Well, we need you on those Instagram clips because Lance and I are taking it in the shorts a little bit. People like to come and give us some shit over there. We took a heavy, I took a shot at Colorado like week 9 of the season. And all of a sudden, 200,000 views later and 150 comments of people saying, "Tell me you don't watch ball without telling me." Fuck you guys. It's like, hang on.
Yeah. That's another one of my teams, man. I've been with the Buffs since Prime got over there, so I've been heavy tuning in. But I've been a Deion fanatic as well since I was an athlete. I had a couple of scholarships in baseball, so I've been following Deion for a long time.
Oh, I love it. Well, I wanted to, I'm excited then when we get you back on and we actually get into spring training here. I know we've had pitchers and catchers report, but I would love to get your baseball take. Lance and I are fans, but we don't know quite what we're looking at, so we need someone that actually has taken some at bats, seen some off-speed pitching and some heated up velo that understand what these guys are going through.
Yeah, baseball season is super fun, man. When it gets cranked up, and they have so many different player props and categories with it being baseball. So I just love it,
100%, and especially a spot like Wanda Parlay where you don't have to go get chasing, $25 parlays where you get caught losing money. All these little $2 parlays, I can take a flyer on some home run hitters that night and see if I can't go clip off a $2,000 win. Yeah,
right.
So that's awesome. So Hawks guy, you got Buffs in college basketball. By the way, I don't know if you see it behind me, but I got the Buffs up on the wall right there. And I've been a Dion guy since he was with the Ravens at the tail end of his career. So I'm right there with you.
So no, I'm Buffs college football. Now basketball, I'm a Duke. I'm Duke.
Okay.
Tone, I'm starting to get a bad. Are you a bandwagon? Are you?
Hang on. No, he took the Hawks.
I've been Duke forever. I don't know what it is, but
Duke's been good forever, so I don't know how much that helps you. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing.
JJ Redick, I don't know what it is about Duke.
How far is Durham from Atlanta? Is he 3 hours up the road, isn't it?
About 4, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So local enough, Lance. Local enough. We got to give him a pass right there.
It's all right. I mean, hey, Tone, I got a question for you. We were talking about NBA. We brought it up a little bit. You said you're excited about what's coming next, but I just wanted to ask, what'd you think of the All-Star weekend? What'd you think of what they put together?
I think overall it was weak, if you ask me. From an entertainment standpoint, I think they haven't figured it out. Yeah, I think they're gonna figure it out. I think a lot of players are getting more intrigued to get involved. I think Matt McClung did a hell of a job with what he did. I think he's forcing the hand of players to get involved. And I hate to say it, but I feel like people followed suit of my guy Bron for no reason, with just like things not joining the dunk contest. And and I personally feel like Bron isn't a dunk contest dunker. That's what people don't. He's an in-game dunker. He's a phenomenal dunker, but I don't think he's a dunk contest dunker, even though he won it in the all McDonald's high school. But he's not a but some people like, the Jaws, the Ants, man, come on. Even Wemby, I would love to see him in it.
Yeah. LeBron early in his career, when it was post Vince Carter, there was an era in there where he could have gotten nice. Like by the time it was Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, I don't blame LeBron for staying the hell away from that. What are you got to get? That's my favorite dunk contest of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say this though, Tone. Same to that point. No Steph in the 3-point contest drives me nuts. No physical hit off that, and he's the best shooter of all time. I just want to see him just go shoot it up.
That's wild. That's wild.
And then I don't know if you've been a lifelong Chris Paul fan. I know Lance has been a lifelong Chris Paul hater, so he was expecting this Chris Paul Wemby. Let's just go ahead and ruin the skills contest.
Hey, I will say that was a rare time in my life. I was a fan of Chris Paul. I liked ruining it. I thought it's stupid. The skills challenge is so dumb. I loved what Chris Paul did. Him and Wemby, it was beautiful. They're chucking the shots or whatever. Like, who cares? What is this?
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably with Lance. Like I'm sorry to admit it, but I'm not the biggest Chris Paul advocate. Now, what I will tell you is I won't hate on his greatness and his skills, but Chris Paul for me goes in the same. And I know you guys are opposite of this, but I wasn't a Kobe fan when he was active because I'm a LeBron fanatic. And I felt like it was either or when they were both. I don't feel like you could have been a legit Kobe fan and was, rooting for LeBron. It just, No,
100%. It was two separate camps. And I'll even say this. I joined the Lakers in 2011. I was a Baltimore kid, moved to LA in 2008. So it wasn't until late in being in LA when they started to kind of struggle, where all of a sudden I started watching games, and it didn't feel like I was jumping on, the back-to-back champions right there. I felt like I was welcome. And then I will say I've rode them through the worst part of their career all the way to getting LeBron.
That counts.
So I got in late on Kobe, but the early days of Kobe, I was rooting for the Suns. I was all over that Amari Stoudemire Suns team. I was rooting, So I've not been the Kobe guy all way.
And hey, like I said, I mean, I was a LeBron guy, and the only time I joined the Lakers was once he came to the Lakers. Not when I've been in SoCal my whole life. I was going to elementary school wearing the Heat LeBron while everyone else had Kobe's. Like I fought my battles. I know what it's like to go against the Kobe Monta or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's
tough. They fight. I mean, they give you about every argument ever Like, in the most random, like, oh, who's more clutch? It's like, well, shit, let me go pull up the numbers. I know who's more clutch. It's always been LeBron, but they'll die on a hill for him. They'll die on a hill. And hey, I respect to
those lying numbers, man. Those numbers lie.
Yeah.
Hey, Joan, we're excited to get you back on, man. Literally, we want you on every episode. This is awesome. You're rocking the Wanna Parlay grip. You've already talked to our boss Carson, so we've gone through the red tape already. We got to get this rolling. Last little topic before we let you go today. You just said you're a Duke fan. I don't know if you saw them roll out the top 16 seeds on CBS over the weekend, but Duke came in as a 1 seed.
Oh, you got cut out a little.
Yeah, Duke came in as a 1. Duke came in as a 1 seed. 3 SEC teams finish out the 1 seeds. But how are you feeling as you turn down the back end here of college hoops? We got probably 2.5 weeks before conference tournaments, and then Selection Sunday, and we're rolling.
I mean, on my radar, I other than Duke, I see Florida. I think Florida is playing some super tough ball over there. But I'm biased just because I'm a Blue Devil. I think Cooper Flag is going to activate a whole different Cooper Flag doing March Madness too. I'm telling you.
He's a freak. I like the kid. The freshman that ends up coming off the bench is a hell of a player. He's been getting better all year. The Con Knipple kid, the kid that wears 7, is as pure a jump shooter as I've ever seen. Reminds me a ton of that Reed Shepherd, who ends up being a lottery pick last year. Mm-hmm. So I like a lot to do with Duke. And then I'm with you.
You're talking about at first you were talking about Proctor.
Well, I love Proctor, the Australian kid. He's kind of the vet that's been there. But they had the other freshman. I'm trying to remember because they had like all world class, obviously, with Cooper Flag. But the kid that like he'd probably be the number 1 on any other team, and he's like the number 4 on this, and slowly but surely is now a double figures kind of guy. I'll be more prepared for Duke talk when I see you next.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on Florida. I watched Florida rout Auburn, and I thought Auburn was the team. So my dumb ass goes and says, okay, maybe Auburn aren't them. I hammer Alabama at home on that 1-2 last weekend, and all of a sudden I'm watching Auburn play defense, and I'm going, if that's going to be them, I don't know who beats them. But fun fact, Lance, Duke did beat them earlier this year. So we're riding Blue Devils here, I guess.
And Auburn still finished number 1, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So they're staying put right there. And the SEC is going to end up getting about 12 teams down here for the ACC. SMU was trying to make it 4 teams, and all of a sudden get beat by Wake Forest and look like we got no shot, no idea what we're doing. So it'll be interesting. But dude, I'm so fired up. We got you on the show. We're back on tomorrow and Thursday. We want you as often as we can get you, and then excited to start filling out some brackets here soon, talking NBA hoop and everything else to come.
All right, for sure. My question before I leave for you guys, man, how do you think the Luka and Bron is gonna phase out?
So it's a little bit. I was a little bit all in. We're winning the championship when the Mark Williams deal had still gone through. Since that's walked itself back, we've now signed Alex Len as the backup center. Jackson Hayes has to be a 33-minute-a-game guy. I don't know that this thing actually has finals, legs, but I do not fear OKC in 7. I don't fear Houston in 7. It's the Nuggets again are going to get us.
I was going to say, what about Denver?
It's the Nuggets again are going to get us. We've got no answer. Jokic is going to go for 50 a night, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. The only reason he won't go for 50 is because he wants to go for 40 and 20. That's it.
Yeah.
It's 2 years in a row we've got knocked out by Denver, and we're headed for a third. But I'm all in on these 7-game series against the top of the West right now. And I'm fired up to see these games because we can't guard anybody. We're going to be winning these games 140 to 135. So I'm stoked.
Hey, me personally, I agree a lot with Jack, but I think our defense is sneaky. I think with Vanderbilt getting healthy, we traded for Dorian Finney-Smith. We got 2 wing guys that go with both our other 6'8" playmakers. And you can't guard one of them, LeBron or Luka, too heavily because the other one has too good of a matchup on the other side. I think with time, and LeBron James is the guy, he defeats Father Time and anything. And with time, they're going to gel together. And I think we have a real shot to be interesting. Now, I'm not going to make them the favorite, but I'm damn well, I'm not going to count them out. Lakers have some.
Yeah. I'm thinking, me personally, I'm thinking the X factor is going to be the unspoken hero that no one is really talking about because he's injured, but was included in the trade package. And I think it's going to be Max Kleber. I feel like if we can get a great version of Max Kleber, it's going to make a huge difference because he's a big man and a shooter.
Yeah, if he can play good minutes, if he can give you good minutes and play decent defense still and stretch the floor, 100%. You're 100% right. And I agree with you on that.
That's the guy I got to see a timeline on because you're right. I've written him off this roster. I never even thought about it. That's an interesting piece.
Well, because he wasn't getting any minutes in Dallas, so you just kind of forgot about him.
Got big finals minutes though last year, which is nice.
I was gonna say I remember some high side of Kleber though. Yeah,
absolutely. And then it'll be interesting. You know what? I just don't know enough about high level basketball where like maybe there is some defensive principles we could lock into. Let Vanderbilt and DFS go chase, and we got put Camp, Luka, and LeBron play some quasi zone kind of principles. I don't know enough, but it'll be interesting to see. JJ Redick's actually been pretty sharp this year and putting set pieces together and doing that. We've been playing hard, which is refreshing as a Lakers fan. I mean, these years with AD, you just got used to, guys being out for 3 weeks at a time. And so you'd go through these stretches of 2-11 and it just like, we're fighting for the play-in game post All-Star break. Now we're sitting there at 5, feeling like we're going to be pretty comfy making a run. I like us a lot this year.
Yeah.
And then, hey, we got KG Lo Joe's in the chat. He was firing, and I kind of missed it. It's me. He says, NBA, in quotes, hey, LeBron, you have to play a little defense tonight for the All-Star game. Then LeBron, in quotes, oh, forget that. My foot is hurt. I'm out. He's making a joke.
No, you felt about that? I was so excited to see that guy take that game off. I'm like, we got bigger things. I could give a shit about this all.
Yeah, we got way bigger things going on. I agree with you, Jack. Another one, KG Lo Joe's. This year I can see 4 or 5 teams, and he's talking about March, mess this tournament up this year. There's going to be some teams that with losing records in conference play that are going to run the table in the conference tourneys. So he says, look out for those teams. And then last but not least, he thinks Austin Reeves will decide if the Lakers go to the finals. Austin Reeves, I mean,
like
he's as important. He's as important as any other
option, but to get a great Austin, we don't get a great Austin. It's
a wrap.
If we're not getting what we've seen this year, But hey, nothing signals that he's not going to keep producing. Austin Reeves has been playing great all year, and he's only gotten better each season. So. I don't know.
Do you guys feel like with LeBron sitting out that All-Star game, does that solidify that this is not his last season?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think LeBron
has play his last All-Star game.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna know when it's LeBron's last year. As much I do love him, he does love attention. It's LeBron. Like Kobe did it. LeBron's gonna do it. I mean, some of these guys, they're gonna the farewell tour.
He's gonna have that farewell tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how deep you guys have gotten on the Reddit pages on this conspiracy theory, but my man taking just a casual week off this week with a flight possibly to Germany. He's on that Tom Brady shit, whatever it is, that he's going to play till he wants to hang it up. It could be 48. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. At this point, why not run the numbers up as high as you can?
Oh, exactly. Let's go. Let's go. Absolutely.
All right. Well, awesome stuff, Tone. Do we appreciate you coming on? You're a legend, and I can't wait. I mean, you got to be on tomorrow. I hope you're not busy. I mean.
What time, guys?
Same time.
Same time tomorrow, 6 to 7 Eastern.
I'm here.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll
be back with you, Tone. This is too cool, man.
For sure.
Great to finally meet you.
All right, man. Same. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
All right,
take
it easy.
What a guy.
I fucking love Tone.
I love Tone. He's good people.
Man.
Tone's the man. And he's a LeBron stain like me. I mean, it's going to be a long, healthy, just great relationship right there. That's just incredible.
Tone's good people. That's awesome. Fuck yeah. Tone, for the audience's sake, Tone was not a guy that Lance and I went and tracked down and was like, you're going to be the perfect guy for this show. Let's bring it on. Tone was a guy that got brought to us by the higher ups of the Wanna Parlay brass. And so as you know, a couple of talent that Lance and I are, we're sitting there being like, well, okay, we'll see. We'll see. And then Tone just pops on. He's the greatest guy ever. I love Tone.
Yeah, that was seamless. That was great. So I want to talk a little bit more about All-Star break. I know, we were just meeting the guy. We're learning things about each other, but I want to talk a little serious about this because it's a fucking joke, Jack. This shit is awful. The NBA All-Star. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. His first comment was on Mac McClung, which is what I want to go. I didn't want to just get into like we're going to blow the whole interview arguing. Here's my problem with Mac McClung, and it's not Mac McClung's fault.
It's not his fault.
God bless Mac McClung. He seems like a sweetheart. Gave such a good interview after the deal.
Yep.
It was like unbelievable. Big fan of Mac McClung. But this is a joke. Mac McClung is not in the NBA. We can find, if we want to make the dunk contest the best dunkers in the world, there's a league where they do this, and they're doing dunks you can't fucking believe. They're going behind the back, midair, throwing it down like crazy fucking video game shit. We can go get that, guys, if we want. That's not what the dunk contest is. I want to see the best NBA players fucking go do it. I want to see Michael Jordan versus Dominique Wilkins. I want to see Dwight Howard fucking doing it when he's winning MVPs. That's awesome.
You're 100% right. I mean, there's no fucking reason it shouldn't be that way. I'm not looking for the best in the world. Like, it's like the home run derby. If I went out there and who's the best home run hitters in the world, there's probably jacked guys that can train for one specific thing that would be better than the MLB guys. I want the best of the best in the sport. NBA dunk contest, not world dunk contest. You're 100% right, and I love that point. And Mac McClung did good, and it was I'll give it to him. That dunk was sweet, the first one over the car.
The car dunk.
That was legit.
The guy's flying through the air. He's flying through the air.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. But I'm gonna love that one. But no, it's ridiculous, Jack.
And I don't want to waste too much time on it because Dame was in the 3-point contest and Dame's a bona fide shooter.
Yeah.
But no Steph in the 3-point contest as well. I mean, imagine if golf had some kind of all-star game weekend and instead of watching Rory and Brooks and some of these guys, I know I'm adding live people and DeChambeau, but like, just imagine the best golfers in the world weren't the ones participating in the long drive. Instead, we went and got the 300-pound guys that play for $250 in those ridiculous contests with the guys with the hair down to their asses, like the Kyle Berkshires.
Yeah, exactly. That
would be ridiculous. We should all boo that, and I'm booing this. This was, and one more thing to say, Lance. Get Mr. Beast the hell away from me.
Oh, that was the worst. That was the worst shit ever. And I hated him. I wanted to punch the guy in the face. He's being like an antagonist, like behind the kid, like, all right, you got the best shooter of all time behind you. And it's like this insufferable sack of shit. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know how you've made as much money as you have, Mr. Beast, because you have no personable skills. You're like egging a kid, like a kid. You're like,
he's not a person. He's a computer. He's just a little machine.
He's a fucking. I've never been so anti Mr. Beast as I am now. I mean, he had other stuff in the past, but I never want to watch. I don't want any part of Mr. Beast around anything that I watch.
What a bummer. And you know what? You actually flipped me on the Chris Paul thing. Because it is a stupid contest.
It's as stupid as no way.
Making the shot doesn't do anything for you, but just speeds it up. Yeah, just get the fucking ball here. You know what? You're right. Chris Paul's back on his bullshit, and I now hate Wemby again. I'm a Wemby hater again. I just tipped onto the other side, and I'm back. But you're right. It's the NBA's fault. The whole weekend is the NBA's fault. Fucking sucks.
Yeah. KG Lojo's in the chat. He's coming in. Oh, he was like, I thought the NBA was going to say LeBron is out. His son Bronny is taking his place. Hey, KG, you're just wilding. You just want Bronny hate. Oh, keep Bronny's name out your mouth, KG. Why do you keep bringing him up? He says, same with Candace Parker versus Shaq game. Why all non-NBA All-Stars playing an NBA All-Star game? That one, I couldn't really read that. But Dame couldn't even beat a kid. I personally think Dame, you could see Dame telling Mr. Beast to fuck off. You could see,
dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
he's like, let hit $100,000 shot here.
He was missing, and I'm like, I hope Dame was missing on purpose. I hope he sabotaged the contest because the kid did. I was punching the air watching my screen.
It's all on that. It's all from the Beast Game show, which if you can avoid that, do so like the plague. I've watched half an episode and it bummed me out so much. It was real world Squid Games. And that guy's even weirder than the guy running Squid Games. I mean, that guy makes me uncomfortable.
Mr. Beast is a weird guy. I mean, all his fans are like 12-year-olds, and if you never really think that's if you don't think that's weird, a grown man whose fan base is 10-year-olds, like that's weird. It's always weird. You always have weird stuff. He's had the friend that was weird. He's got a lot of. I'm not a Mr. Beast fan. He is
keep him away from sports. He's not sports.
Keep him away from sports
content.
Yeah,
sports and content are separate. Stop it.
No, seriously. And it's like, well, and this is what we were talking about with the Pro Bowl. If you're gonna do content, at least have good shit, not Mr. Beast yelling at a 17-year-old while Damian Lillard's trying to hunt him down. It was the stupidest. I thank God the kid won. I was so happy the kid won. I was like, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
They almost went to commercial. They almost scrapped the whole thing because it was so awkward. By the way, meanwhile, while this is going on, we had the nation's face-off with USA Canada, and that game kicked so much ass. It was crazy. We teed it up going into that game. Canada's been booing the American national anthem since Trump took office.
Yeah.
They booed it in Canada in front of the Americans. So how do we respond? Opening puck drop. Fight. Let's go.
Drop the gloves.
2 seconds later, another fight. 7 seconds after that, third fight. 10 seconds in the game. We got 6 guys in on the penalty box. We got 6 guys bleeding. We got 2 brothers in the Americans and the Kachucks who are the literal Bash Bros. Yep. Who are both in the penalty box getting stoked with one another. It was the coolest thing ever. And then you go watch the game, and they're playing their fucking ass off. It was like the Stanley Cup playoffs. Our boy Hellebuyck in goal is an absolute fucking god. He's my guy for forever.
Yep.
This Canada, it was a little bit wild. I felt unpatriotic. The Canada team is just so talented. I knew 90% of their roster as a casual fan, and I knew 10% of the American roster. But I'm watching these guys. I was like, let's fucking go. Canada, by the way, Lance, won this morning.
Yeah.
So it's officially Canada, USA in Boston Thursday night in the Garden. Let's fucking go.
I mean, that's just as good as it gets. It doesn't get better than that in sports. I mean, I'm so fired up for that game. It's just like the nationality pride, like how fucking Americans, you can see some of us out there are like, yeah, America, we love you.
You play this game. I told all my buddies, I was like begging them. I was like, if you give me just a slight underdog and put us on the international scene, I am fucking all in. Doesn't matter to the sport.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's that fucking, you feel it in your DNA. It's in your blood. It's got the red, white, and blue, baby. Yeah. God, I get fired up.
So fucking fired up for this game. By the way, I've got some talks on my tonight's picks. USA Sweden going off in like an hour and a half in a game that now means nothing. The championship game is set. Still going to get some good hockey. We're playing back in the States, so excited to at least tune that on and see where we go. And then college hoops, Lance, if we can keep going down, flush out some of the things we talked with Tone.
Yeah.
We've covered the landscape and format. It's just a fun last little month we have here where it's everyone's resume is basically set up. You know, everyone knows if they've done enough, if you got to go win your conference tournament, maybe you're a big win away. And so now you get these massive games all across the board. It doesn't need to be 1 versus 2 in the country. You get a bunch of people who are playing for the bubble spots right now. SMU Wake Forest, for instance, great game over the weekend. Boy, was I on the wrong side of that. Wake Forest beats SMU. ACC's got issues. I did want, just to get it on record, some tourney darlings I've got my eyes on right now.
Okay.
Some teams to get excited about when you're filling out your bracket here. So first is the obvious. These are your shoe-in. Like, if you could give me these 4 teams versus the field, I would take it.
Yeah.
For your national champion. That's Auburn, Duke, Florida, Houston. Auburn just beat the hell out of Alabama. It was really bully ball at Alabama, which is an impressive thing to see. And their defense, there's not any points in the paint to be had against Auburn when they're rolling like that. Janai Broome, I don't know how much of an NBA prospect he is, but fuck, that guy was good against Alabama and a bit of a dog. So love me, Bama. We covered Duke with Tone. Everyone knows Duke. If you've watched 1 second of SportsCenter this year or have Instagram, you've seen Cooper Flag and those guys rolling. They are as advertised when they're playing good. They beat that Auburn team. They're damn good.
I want to say one thing about Duke and Cooper Flagg, because I didn't get to say it while Tone was on. The thing about Cooper Flagg that's so fucking awesome is not only is he a world-class talent and he's a freak that way, he's also a freak competitor and just fucking grinds and plays every game like it's his last and just fucking has his balls all on the court. Like, I love it. So I just wanted to get that in.
And none of the bullshit. There's no whining to the refs. He's not the homie Grayson Allen where he's tripping and he's like the known villain of the deal. Like there's nothing but respect for that kid. And he plays his ass off on defense. And he's kind of got the LeBron thing where he absolutely can be a scorer, but he's making the winning plays, whatever that is. So if it's a kick to the corner, if it's a drop off pass, it's not stat chasing for him. So huge Cooper Flagg fan. I'll tell you another cool Cooper Flagg thing. He's put on record. He really wants to come back to Duke. Going to see if they can make it work from an NIL world. So if it's the Pelicans drafting number 1 overall,
I'd say.
Does he come back?
I'd stay. Why wouldn't you?
Why the hell wouldn't
you? I'm not going to
Zion would have. Zion would have.
That's actually a great point. Zion would have. If he had that it has the opportunity that Cooper Flagg's about to have, and it's the Pelicans again.
Yeah.
I ain't going.
Pre-NIL, 100%. Now he's got the NIL world. He's going to come back, make everything. He would have made in endorsements already at Duke. And then he'll sign a $5 to $10 million deal with Duke to stay put on their deal. And mind you, he'll be 18 when next season tips off. So what the hell? I got no problem making $50 million and staying and playing some of the most fun basketball of my life for another year.
And in college basketball, you learn a lot more fundamentals than the NBA. I mean, NBA, he's going to be, if he joined, so let's say the Pelicans and they kind of move pieces and he was on a shitty team. It's like, then you're just getting meaningless minutes. You're the star. You're losing games. You lose your confidence. I like it. I like the move top to bottom. But keep going about these darlings. I want to hear something. I got to make brackets.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out too, though. Maybe a little Tim Duncan from him, another ACC guy who would have gone 1 overall after a freshman. Ended up staying 4 years at Wake Forest before going to San Antonio. So
wow,
interesting cat. Yeah. And then I got Houston on that list. I think it's the best coach in college basketball. I think when they get up, they fucking suffocate you. It's just a matter of, is their shooting going to be there and can they stay healthy through the entire tournament? Last 2 years, they've gotten banged up, playing as hard as they do with their short man rotation. And so it'll just be interesting. But Houston, again, cruising through a damn good Big 12 right now, which is always interesting just because they haven't been there very long. I remember the days of them being in the American Conference. So interesting to see them go bully Kansas and some of these teams. Some less obvious teams. I like Michigan quite a bit.
Yeah, same. I'm a Michigan fan. Wolf, he's the man.
Michigan just went on the road and beat Ohio State. And that was a game. I'll talk about this little Vegas thing with my picks. But when a ranked team in college basketball is on an unranked team hosting a ranked team and they're favored. So, for example, we have that tonight. Baylor's hosting Arizona, and it's Baylor -1.5. That hits it like an 85% clip. I was all over Ohio State, and Michigan, just top to bottom, clean fucking game. Dusty May's first-year coach from FAU, damn good. We talked about Golden. We've talked about Wolf. Like, Michigan's a tough out. I could easily, pending their path, I could easily take them to the Final Four or deeper. Some other tough outs, great rosters, not necessarily going to be bona fide guys, but people you could just see getting hot if all of a sudden their shooting heats up. Memphis and Penny Hardaway. Every time I watch them play, I just become a bigger fan. And then Louisville with this Chucky Hepburn kid. Watch Louisville play. The on-ball pressure and the ball, like there is well-coached a basketball team in college basketball this year. It is impressive as hell to watch Louisville play. So I'm going to be riding Louisville pretty deep. I mean, honestly, as far as I'll take them until they run into one of those buzzsaws that we talked about up at the top. And then some dark horses that aren't even punched their ticket yet. But guys, I think they're going to make it to the dance. And if they do, look out. Arkansas, Calipari, he's done so much damage with kind of his lesser than Kentucky teams back in the day. And he's got Jeni Davis. He's got a bunch of these transfers who have got big time tourney experience. If they can put it together, look out. Rutgers had a top 5 recruiting class this year out of nowhere, and they've had injuries to their 2-star freshmen. So all of a sudden, if they get right, they can beat just about anybody on a hot night. Ohio State, terrible loss against Michigan. What a choke job. I don't know what the blue and maize has on you people, but get them out of your head. It's a disaster and it's embarrassing. Clemson, I think SMU might trip them up, but that's a team that beat Duke at home and was in the tournament making a little run last year. St. John's, hardly a dark horse. They were given a 4 seed in this CBS deal, but they just beat the hell out of UConn, beat the hell out of Creighton. They were a very fun watch. Now the real ones, because I've told everybody names they already know. Here's the names you got to need. New Mexico. They're 22-4. This kid, Donovan Den, is averaging 20 a game. And if you go through the Mountain West, it's not a bad conference. Mountain West is like top to bottom. I'd like to see him play the ACC, honestly, because the ACC gets bad once you get past about 5 teams. And then Utah State out of that conference as well. Utah State, guaranteed, pending matchup, will be going to my Sweet 16. I fucking dig them. Really? And now your potential randoms. I'm looking for your St. Petersburg. I'm looking for your George Mason here. High Point out of North Carolina in the Big South Conference. A couple big-time wins. UC Irvine out of the Big West, 22-4 right now. The Anteaters, Lance. I like the Anteaters. You got to put Yale in there because they seem to always win a tournament game, possibly. They're undefeated currently in Ivy League play so far. Danny Wolf was on that team last year. If Danny Wolf was still on that team, all of a sudden Yale could be on some real fun run. Drake, a team that beat Vandy by 11 this year. They also beat Kansas State, a team that's been super pesky. They're 23-3 on the season. They've been damn good at basketball, that program, for a little while.
Dude, there was a couple years ago, Drake was the best team by far against the spread, and they were like, they're the coolest.
They were 28-0 against the spread.
Yeah, they were the coolest team. They were the coolest team ever. So I remember them. Keep going though.
Yeah, McNeese State has got some fun wins on the record. They got a great coach. Grand Canyon, a team that started slow, is starting to put it together. They're going to win their conference and be there. They're I always forget his name, but the kid that wears number 7 for him is as pretty a basketball player as you will ever see. It's just an invented in a lab type kid, freak athlete. And then St. Mary's. This is a team that smoked USC, hold them to in the 30s, absolutely beat their ass. They beat Nebraska, who, if you kind of go shopping around for people's favorites, people really like Nebraska. They also beat Utah and Gonzaga. So they'll play Gonzaga one more time at Gonzaga, but that St. Mary's team is damn good. They may fall victim to being a little too highly rated and not get to come in as a well-kept secret. And so, I chased that with my ponies when I was an undergrad, and I know that feeling all too well. So that's the current landscape of college basketball, Lance.
Hey, I like it, and I appreciate your service because, I college basketball, I pay attention to a lot of other things. Actually, I pay attention to a lot of things. This world, college basketball ain't one of them. But I'll be making brackets. We'll be making brackets, and I'll keep all of this in mind. That's all. When you brought up New Mexico, I mean, I lived in Albuquerque. I saw that basketball team when I was there. They were fucking sad. They were sad people. They were just sorry and could not hoop. I hate to say that because I've seen college basketball games where I'm like, I feel like I could, kind of be out there. Like there's sometimes I'm watching, they're so stuck in a system that it's like, dude, you guys aren't doing it. But, I always talk a lot of shit. I mean, you can go watch me hoop. I'm not that good. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah. All right. So we'll keep that. We'll talk college basketball again tomorrow. Let's move on to NBA. You got a couple of predictions in here. I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to think.
So
after that,
again, we've made it quite clear. I'm better than a casual, but I'm not any kind of NBA fucking super fan or expert. So that's what you bring to the show. So I've got hot takes, and I want you just to tell me, am I on the right path or am I just fucking going to no man's land? One, I think we already got our piece of evidence here in that Rockets win right before the All-Star break. The Warriors are going to get really hot.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Warriors, I think that stat line they threw down against the Rockets, they can put down against just about anybody. I think their defensive profile all of a sudden looks really good. With when you got Looney, Draymond Green, and now Jimmy Butler can lock down
100%.
whoever your one is. And they've always had great defensive principles. Steph Curry takes heat as being a defensive liability. The guy expends more energy on the offensive end than anyone I've ever seen in basketball. And he's like averages a steal and a half or 2 steals a game. I think the Warriors are very hard out. I think Warriors and Lakers, OKC fans, I would be terrified right now. I'd be terrified.
Yeah, OKC, the tough one about them, I mean, you haven't seen them healthy really this year, like a completely healthy with their full lineup. And I'm like, the Hartenstein and Holmgren, Chet and Hartenstein, like at the same time, like that's pretty big. Shea's the smallest guy on the court at 6'6". I'm like,
yeah.
Thunder but you're 100% right. There's no playoff experience. And if it's going to come down to this basketball I'm watching with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, where he's fucking foul baiting all game long, it feels like he does a lot of it. It reminds me a lot of Harden back in the day. And I'm like, in the playoffs, it's not going to be as smooth as it looks in the regular season. So that's a take of mine. Everyone watch out. That's something on the Thunder, but you're 100% right with the Warriors, bro. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, you got the Podozemski kid, you got Moses Moody, Looney. You can just like kids that are active and can play defense and stay in front. They're going to be tough.
How do you pronounce the Pods kid last name?
Podozemski
or something like that. Yeah.
That kid, yeah.
They're rocking that guy in his starting five, at least for the opening Jimmy Butler games here as they figure out their rotation, which means Buddy Hield's coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's another guy who can explode for 20-something on like 8 shots, you know?
I know. The problem with Buddy Hield is he started the season so hot, and everyone's like, oh my God, like, he's the chosen one, the splash buddy. And then he just went on the coldest 2 to 3 months I've seen in a while. Like, it's pretty sad. Like, he's been pretty awful. But you're 100% right. Like, it's basketball, just like anything. You just got to get hot, and once you get hot, the sky's the limit. So no, you're 100% right on the Warriors take. Love it. What's next?
I think the Bucks get going. I feel like the Bucks have like put together a couple games. They had a super slow start. Like it was like I think 18 games in before they got back over 500. And then they were kind of involved in some trade discussions. We talked about it on the show for a little bit. Like, at what point should the Bucks consider trading Giannis and just doing a complete start over? Because they don't have any trade capital with picks. You're not exactly a free agent destination. As good as Giannis is, he's not exactly a magnet for other players because he's so ball dominant. It's not exactly a system guy. It's not a point guard that's going to go get you yours, or this great five that's going to be this, just perfect Robin to your Batman, or you're going to be the perfect Robin to his Batman is probably the better way to say it. But now Kyle Kuzma, I know people are going to be like, oh, fuck Kyle Kuzma. The guy's washed at 29. I tell you, he's played 2 games for the Bucks and he's looked outstanding. He's got them running the floor. I think he's the perfect little fit for them. I think Dame gets re-energized off the All-Star break here. And all of a sudden, and I think the East is weak as shit. Philly's nowhere to be seen right now. You're talking about, and he have kind of been out. So you're talking Bucks, Knicks. Who am I leaving off that list? But, Bucks are going to get going.
Dude, I love what you said. I agree with you again. The Bucks, the addition of Kyle Kuzma, getting rid of Middleton, who was washed and hurt and broken. I mean, shout out to him. He won him a ring in Milwaukee, a thing they haven't done since the 70s. But, Bucks are good. Damian Lillard, legit. They got I forget these kids' names, but they got a couple young pieces that are 3-and-D that rotate in. That can play with Kuzma's like the free shooter, free scorer, kind of whenever you get the ball, let it rip. And then Giannis is a freak of nature. He's the Greek freak for a reason. He's going to go insane. And I actually like, before at the beginning of the season, I would have told you what KG's telling me in the chat. Bounce first round. It's nothing special. This is probably the end of Giannis. But I actually agree with you. I'm like, dude, they might... Brook Lopez, still a serviceable player. Bobby Portis, still a serviceable player. They got the young 3-and-D wings with Lillard and Giannis. And when these games slow down and it's playoff basketball, Damian Lillard's a hell of a fucking player, and everyone's going to remember that. They've forgot it for a few years now because he's been, stuck in Portland, moved to Bucks last year. It wasn't great. It takes time for these things to come together. That's why I keep complimenting LeBron, the Lakers. The only person that speeds that up, the meshing, the gelling, is LeBron James and his team. So, hey, let me read some KG. He's been firing in here for a little while. He says, why is the Big Ten called the Big Ten when it has 18 teams? They have so many teams that this year they had to say all the teams will not make the in-conference tournament. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that either. That's crazy. They may have, it's that big. I wonder if the SEC is doing the same. I got to look that up, KG. I did not know that.
Wow.
But I will say, we covered it in football. The idea that the Big 10 has 17 teams, the Big 12 has 18 teams. SEC never had a number, but they're huge. The Pac-12 has 2 teams now. The whole thing's a goddamn freak show.
Okay, so KG's on our side. He says OKC is playing Golden State in a win or go home game. I'm taking Golden State. That's what KG said. So, hey, KG, we agree with you over here. Goes, Bucks get bounced in first round again this year. Bucks don't have that killer instinct anymore. Bobby Portis makes that team go or not. It's not Giannis or Dame. KG, you're disrespecting finals MVP. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's down 2-0 in a series that looked over and clipped off 4 straight. He's legit. I mean, I know now this is why it's perfect, because he's a monster from quarters 1 till about 3 minutes left. And this is why you get Damian Lillard. This is why it's Dame time. It's why you get the guy. So I believe a lot more in the Bucks than you do, KG. And I agree with you, Jack. So yeah, there's the Bucks. What's next?
I had 2. So those were kind of 2 blue blood takes. Teams that I think will be, playoff relevant and like people you got to keep eyes on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now a couple just fun teams that I think are going to backdoor the playoffs that are currently not in the picture. Raptors, 7 games out of that 10 line right now. Raptors, who got Brandon Ingram and all of a sudden are young and long, and they're kind of in that makeup of the Pistons and Blazers, where why would we suck? We're not, now we've got our young pieces. Now we're about developing. I think it's always a tough trip to go up to Canada and play them there. If all of a sudden they clip off a little 10-2 run here with 12 games, like they're going to be right there on that line, and they're not a team I want to go play in that little playing game. So I think the Raptors are about to backdoor this plan.
Dude, I love the take. The Raptors, they're how many games out of the 10 seed? They're right there though.
7,
and it's the Bulls, but it's the Bulls
back of the 10 line. But we're talking about a bunch of losing franchises on that 10 line.
Exactly. The Bulls are the only one on that 10 line. I think I just looked at it. They're like 24-33, and I think that
and they're tanking.
Yeah, they're not.
And then you get like the Magic are like the 7 right now, and they're 3 games below 500. Like the East is banged up. These are good teams they've got to go by.
I love your take. I mean, the Raptors, now I can almost name their entire starting lineup. It's Emmanuel Quickley at point, they got from the Knicks trade with RJ Barrett.
I like Emmanuel Quickley.
Yeah, exactly. Him, Grady Dick. We have him. We got Brandon Ingram. We got RJ Barrett, and we got Scotty Barnes. And I don't even think they've moved off Jakob Poeltl. So I'm like, they actually have players now, and they're starting to put like a roster together. You're 100% right. They're like the complete opposite of what the Bulls are, because the Bulls, they had Levine and a couple whatever at the beginning of the year. Then they move off him. I guess it was just Levine, but move off him, and now they just got a bunch of shitters. KG Lil Joe in the chat, he says Bulls might win 6 games the rest of the year.
Yeah,
exactly. So so a team is going to have to start winning back there, and you're 100% right. Why not the Raptors? Raptors are right there.
We got to keep eyes on them. Obviously, NBA back on Wednesday with the makeup game, but Thursday. So these are teams I like. And no, shocking nobody, not a hot take here, but if the Spurs are going to backdoor this thing, who are currently outside the playoff picture, right? Who's falling out? Because I do think the Spurs are going to play some great basketball down the stretch. I think De'Aaron Fox is a perfect complement to what they had going on. So is it the Suns aren't going to make the play-in this year? Is it because the Warriors are moving up? Like, who is it? The Kings are going to flounder? Is it who's got to fall out for the Spurs to come up?
So Jack, let me go through the end of the West. You're gonna be fucking baffled because it's insane this year, man. It's insane. The 7th seed Minnesota Timberwolves 31-25, 8th seed Mavericks 30-26, 9th seed Kings 28-27, 10th seed Warriors, who are tied with the Kings, are 28-27. The next team Suns 26-28. They're the 11th seed, 2 games under 500. The Spurs 23-29. So they're a little back, but now you're not even asking who's out between the Warriors and Suns. Suns might be out. They might be done.
Suns might be out. Warriors are going up. Mavericks with this AD injury, where do they stand?
They've been fighting like hell, yeah.
Like a Kings, I thought with all the movement, I thought they were like shutting it down, and all of a sudden, fucking, there goes that man in our mid-range hero. Please help me out.
DeRozan. He
yeah.
fucking Debo at 34 years old, still playing as good as the Hooper as I can see in the league. Let me so your Spurs, I love that, like where you're going, because you're 100% right, but the West is too deep for it to be this year. Your take is basically it's next year they're going to be a top 6 team. They won't even be in the plan. That's how good
Interesting.
So that's how good they are.
But don't get caught in being like, well, the Spurs have to make the playoffs, so who's going to start? So don't play that game. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah,
the Raptors, I'm sitting here going.
The Raptors, I'm like, they actually, the Raptors are, because no other team at that point in the East is even competitive. So it's like they're the only team that looks like they're going to be on a winning streak rather than a losing streak after All-Star break. But Spurs, it's like, they're going to be so goddamn good next year, Jack. Like they're going to be a top 6. They won't be in the play-in next year. That's how they're that good. And your take is 100% right, but it's just the West is so deep. It'll be very, very tough for them to make it.
Stephon Castle still on this team, right? They didn't have to lose him. In the
trades. No, he's an untouchable piece for them. They said that.
So they're going to go add another just perfect championship style player in this draft. And if they don't make the playoffs, that means they'll be hanging around the lottery still and get a decent bite here. And they're not going to draft a number 1. They're going to draft a guy that fits in perfectly to that, like the Kings drafting the Murray kid, basically.
Yeah, something that fits your system.
Like what and be within the system. Stephen Castle comes from that UConn team where when you watched him play in the national championship run last year, that it was just so much winning basketball getting played. So they're going to go get that Christian Brown, that whoever that piece is, where he'll never be a 1, but he's going to be a great contract. He's going to play winning basketball, winning minutes our entire time with him.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because the Spurs are right there, dude. They have a lot of pieces, and they've been kind of, but they needed the star. Now you're going to have De'Aaron Fox, Castle, the Sohan kid's going to get healthy. You still have veteran Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul, and they do all that. I forget the guy's name. It's like Champagne or something. It's champagne. It looks like champagne.
That's the kid I was trying to remember the name of.
The
Baylor kid.
Yeah. So like they have good players, and I'm telling you, the step next year, they're a top 6 team. They're gonna be like, wait, are the Spurs gonna? They'll join the new conversation where OKC is right now, where it's like, they're really fucking good, but I haven't seen them win the playoffs yet, so I still won't take them. They'll be right there. The Spurs are on their way up. Spurs are right there.
That'll be a fun year next year because, hot take, that'll be Chris Paul's last season.
Yeah, if he makes it then.
For one more.
I hope he does, because he still can play. He's
even if they have to fucking, who's my man on the Heat? Fucking
Udonis Haslem.
Yeah, Unk on the Heat right there.
Let me go ahead. A little more KG action. Oh shit, he was ripping. Cavs versus BST. Are you talking about Boston finals? You can't have 2 teams in the East in the finals. Those were the teams in the East you were talking about, though, when we were talking about the Bucks. So it's Celtics, Cavs, Knicks, Bucks. Those are the 4 teams that are competitive. Everyone else, I mean, if you want to give Cade Cunningham, he can't win yet. They still have time.
How sad are the Sixers? I haven't been paying enough attention to the record.
Oh, my fucking headphones got messed up. Sorry, man. I can't hear. But no, the Sixers are fucking pathetic, dude. Go ahead. Yeah, here.
He notices what's going on because they just won the Super Bowl. Like all of a sudden they're going to wake up from the Super Bowl hangover. Like, wait, what the fuck happened to my 76ers? Where's the process?
It's the most pathetic. It's honestly sad because Joel Embiid, I mean, I don't know how to feel bad for him because he's made so much money being hurt. Like, see, this is why if money wasn't guaranteed in sports, I'd actually be able to feel bad for him because I'm like, oh, you've missed out on a lot, hurt. But I mean, he's so rich. I don't feel bad for the poor bastard, but it's he doesn't play games. Paul George is doing everything he can to stay on the court right now because of his no games allegations. Like, well, then you should have played more in the past and no one would be bullying you right now, buddy. And Tyrese Maxey's doing everything he can. Nothing's coming of that. Jared McCain got hurt for season. Yeah, they're cooked, bro. The Sixers are cooked. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're not even they're not even worth talking about anymore. Like they're garb. All right. Well, yeah, I like the takes. You're right. You're right on the fucking right track, and we're thinking the same.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
Good. Well, this will lead. We got a couple days off with the NBA. So we've just got hockey and college hoops the next couple days if you want to lay down some picks. But I'm excited to chase those ideas for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll lay down some picks. KG thinks Dallas is out. Gafford is out now 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm pretty sure Davis isn't coming back. Well, Kyrie Irving and Clay, they still got players that are playing right now. They might be able to stay alive, but
just hang around
because the Spurs
like getting into the top 5.
The Spurs will have to actually start winning.
Yeah,
like go on a win streak to even catch these, get close. So it's tough. That's the only nothing. But I love the KG Lojo's Wemby MVP 2026. I agree. I think that will happen. I think the timeline is that short because he's already a freak. But yeah, man, NBA, it's fucking awesome again. I lost so much love for it from the beginning of the season till right at those trades. Honestly, when we got rid of D'Angelo Russell, I got a little inspiration. I was like, wait, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Get that fucking idiot off my team. Let's go. We're back. We're starting to make moves again. So that's awesome stuff.
Before we make tonight's picks, any updates on Stanley Johnson?
Still G League, South Bay Lakers. I gotta reach out to him. We gotta see, dude. He had a monster game on his opening night, so we gotta.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get him on because that'd be fucking awesome. Yeah, for picks tonight, dude. There's not much. Much to select from. And I saw, your whole theory with the college basketball, the Baylor, U of A. I can't do it. I'm on U of A tonight. Bear down. Give me my Cats. I mean. I'm going to just watch Caleb Love shoot 20 shots and fucking 3 of them are going to go in, but hopefully we win. I'm taking Bear down. I have no logic. Go ahead. Give us your picks. That was my one.
I'm obviously on the other side of that bad boy. I got Baylor -1.5. Unranked home teams getting favored against ranked opponents. Absolutely slaps. It's the second time they're playing this matchup. Arizona won the first. Tough to beat a team twice. The public is leaning Arizona, which is usually a good indicator. It's everything you want to see in the lock right here, Lance. I'm letting Baylor rip. I'm gonna get a little juicy on it. It's early in the week. I got till Monday to make it back. I'm gonna get after it.
I mean, you're 100% right. I love that. I would be on that side, but I was like, you know what? Bear down. They lost my last bet and the sacks of shit. So I'm like, you better get it back. Yeah, go ahead. Next pick.
And then the very last one, just doing it because my patriotism is fucking just booming right now. USA Sweden, same game parlay. Taking USA money line and the under of 6.5. The people tailing me on this should know we've got no Hellebuck in net tonight and no Matthew Tkachuk. And we've obviously, because we've ensured our path to the championship of this nation's deal. It's going to be a lot of third and fourth line guys getting heavy minutes tonight. A lot of first and second guys getting short shifts. So maybe not the best bet, but fuck it. I believe in it. I watched every game of this deal so far. If USA doesn't score more than 5, it's never going over that number. So I believe, few goals, we win in reg. Sweden, by the way, is also playing for nothing. Had Canada gotten beat earlier today, Sweden would be playing to go to the championship. No longer the case. So this is a pride game. And if anyone's been playing with some fucking pride, it is the boys in the stars and stripes, Lance.
Oh man, I love it. And hey, don't worry about the no Hellebuck thing because they got Ottinger in net. He's the Stars kid.
Ottinger, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That kid has. I assume I saw this guy in person. I was sitting right behind the Ducks goal. I saw Ducks Stars. It was a great game. I saw this Ottinger kid. He takes his helmet off. He's a beautiful human being. I mean, no homo. Like pause. Whatever I gotta say. He's a beautiful human being, and he's got like the perfect flow. He's like 6'5" in the NHL. I'm like, man, what a life you live. What a life you live.
This was me watching Ludwig over winning
Aberg?
at Torrey yesterday, where he comes off, he wins on the 18th green, pours in to go 12 under, hits birdie on the 18th hole, pulls his hat off, goes and kisses his hot girlfriend. I'm just going, fuck, you're cool.
Man, like those are the heroes.
Kid's like great looking. I've never seen a piece of clothes where it fit someone. So like he's just, I guess, the custom features. He just is the mannequin body. No, I've never had a shirt fit me the way it fits him. I'll keep going. This is a little gay, by the way. I'm dipping my toe into it. I don't care. That's how I feel.
Dude.
Huge fan of that guy. And a little inside baseball. Joe Baggs has played a little bit of golf with that guy and reports nothing but great things. Like, he's like so nice, it's suspicious. You can't believe a guy that plays like that, looks like that, is that cool of a guy. And sure enough, he is. So big Ludwig guys around here. But I hear you with the with our boy in net for the start.
Sometimes you got to call it out. Sometimes you got to call it as it is. Yeah. Hey,
it's more embarrassing to pretend like it's not in the room. You know, just
exactly.
call it what it is. I have eyes. I know what it is. Doesn't mean I have to jump the guy's bones. I can sit tight.
100%. You know what? I think that's the perfect topic to end on for our.
Did we lose KG?
Did we lose KG? Did he? Is he not coming back?
These California clowns.
He says, I'm taking the over 10.5 on how many whiskey shots I'm doing tonight. Whoa, KG.
Oh, I love it from you, KG. I'll be on the under, but I'll be drinking whiskey tonight watching this hockey game. I promise you that.
I'm nowhere near. I'm just, I'm a big fucking Pepsi guy, or a little Sprite action. You guys are just dogs. No, but that's awesome
Put
stuff.
Hair in your shit.
I do it seriously. All right, go ahead, Jack.
Anyway, this was the Wanna Parlay podcast, obviously. Home of all things Wanna Parlay, home of the $2 parlay and the world's richest parlay, where every day people are turning $2 into $2,000 and walking out the door. It was fantastic chopping it up with Tone today. Hope to have him back on the show again and often. It sounds like we're going to have him back on tomorrow. And I don't know, if you get that much time in the vortex that is Lance and I, there's no getting out. So something tells me Tone's going to be something of a fixture around here. It was a great Wanna week. Congrats again to Fats 312 going home with $2,000 on a $2 investment. It's actually $2,400 because he pieced together a third place finish as well. Fats, big time stuff, man. Hope to get you on the show soon. Also pieced together, we've got W. Walters 7 in the pick 4 with $200. Long legs, homegirl Viviana, pick 6, 500. I'll get you an up-to-date number on what she's cooking because I think that's our top earning lady on Wanna Parlay. Matt's 57123 wins 200, and Masucho wins 175. But that was the podcast. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Lance and I, hopefully a little Tone, hopefully a few more of you recent winners as we enter into the Wanna week and talking all the same things. We're going to be recapping some of this nation's hockey stuff and then deep diving where we stand in the rest of this college basketball season and what's to come in the rest of the NBA season.
Well, fucking took all the words out of my mouth. Yep. Thank you, KG, and everyone else that tuned in. We'll be back tomorrow, like Jack said, same time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And we'll see you guys then. See ya.